Now, the fight to protect women's sports has now reached the U.S. Supreme Court today, where justices heard arguments over the constitutionality of state laws in places like West Virginia and Idaho that ban biological men from playing women's sports. Biological men, that would be boys born male who later, quote, decide they want to be girls. But according to Justice Amy Coney Barrett, that makes them girls. She shocked a lot of conservatives who are listening. Take a listen.
There are no 6-year-olds in the state to whom the statute applies because there are no school-sponsored.
That's why it was a hypothetical.
Okay, right. Yes, like it would be the normal intermediate scrutiny analysis. And are we saying it applies only to 6-year-olds or to everybody across the board?
Well, I'm just trying to give you a I mean, yours is driven by testosterone levels and differences in athletic capability. So I'm asking you, what if you try to take that out of the equation and you're just drawing the line based on biological sex and saying that trans girls can't be on the girls' team in an age group that's prepubescent?
All right, joining us now with reaction, the host of the hit podcast, Riley Gaines, and along with Riley, we have West Virginia Attorney General J.B. McCuskey is with us. You know, I was reading this today. One study revealed, Riley, that 890 medals were, taken from female athletes by trans athletes. You experienced this firsthand. I did not know that number was that high.
Yeah, well, Sean, that number is actually much higher than even that. That is just what's being reported on. I believe the UN actually brought a report forward not too long ago where the number was in the thousands of opportunities, trophies, podium finishes, medals, roster spots that have been taken from deserving women. But honestly, Sean, it doesn't matter if the number was just one girl, one woman, one young female athlete being displaced or being violated in a locker room is enough for me to take the stand that I've been taking. Of course, I know AG McCuskey, it's the same thing. If it were just one, that's enough to have the conversations that we're having.
Attorney General, let's get your take. How did you feel oral arguments before the court went today? And were you as surprised at Amy Coney Barrett as others were?
So the arguments went amazingly. Our solicitor, Michael Williams, displayed a masterclass today, and his arguments were fantastic. And I'm going to give Justice Barrett a pass here. I think we're really talking about a hypothetical, and I really thought that she was getting into some of these issues, and we feel very confident that she agrees with us on this. And I think what's really interesting is that actually the ACLU agrees with us on this. They've conceded that our law complies with Title IX, and they've conceded that our law is compliant under the Equal Protection Clause. And really, their arguments got very, very muddled throughout the day. And we think West Virginia really won this day, and we're very, very bullish about success here in June or July.
Riley, you ever think your movement would lead to the U.S. Supreme Court?
You have to imagine that you could have never expected that we would be here, but nonetheless, I'm thrilled that it is. I think, of course, with the makeup of the court right now, we can expect a positive outcome and ruling in June, and I think that's what's needed. But it's important to clarify, the Supreme Court cases that they're hearing now, it doesn't decide on if states must protect women's rights to equal opportunity to privacy and safety. It's just deciding if states even can. If it's constitutional for states like Tennessee, Florida, Texas to pass laws ultimately protecting those categories. Now, I would love to see the Supreme Court rule eventually on if states must adhere to federal law, that federal law being Title IX.
All right, Riley, thank you, and good job, Mr. Attorney General. We appreciate